So apparently there's the context is
What is the show called again?
There's a new Lord of the Rings.
What is the Lord of the Rings show called again?
Oh, Rings of Power.
Rings of Power.
I remember that much.
Yeah, I was searching for it. I was like Lord of the Ring Book 2, and I couldn't find it.
So there's a
all right. 5 days ago.
So there's a new Rings of Power.
Yeah, new ROP.
New what? Rock?
ROP. Rings of Power.
Oh, yes.
Rope.
Okay. Gotcha.
This is a ROP type show. Trailer came out 5 days ago. I figured I was going to be back in Vancouver soon, so we would wait for me to be here.
Yeah.
And so Gaël is experiencing this for the first time.
Yeah.
Do you care if I'm pausing? Like,
no, I don't really care. No.
All right. So not in 4K.
Okay.
Which is interesting because you're a streaming service.
Mount Doom, a classic site. Because I remember now we left off the last series. Do you remember they like terraformed like Mordor? I don't know if you remember. That was the end.
Yeah,
it
was a WoW
series.
dude Mordor situation.
Yeah, that's right. And they did little text.
Oh yeah,
it was really
the text was fun.
It was really bad.
Just in case you didn't figure it out.
Because they changed it from I don't even know what it was called, like the green fields or something, into like Mordor, and it was
the dramatic sting.
It was really bad. Hello, Catboy. Prime. Nice.
We got subtitles.
And powerful has returned.
Okay. Ooh, Venom.
Yep. We got Venom.
Prepare yourselves.
Oh, I forgot that this actress was Galadriel.
Yeah. And also the fucking compression looks like shit.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I don't know what's
Amazon.
going on. Wait, is this supposed to be 4K?
No, this is in 1080p.
Oh, good. Thanks,
but we
Amazon.
can't talk about it for too long because otherwise people get very
yeah,
angry.
Yeah.
The sound design is very funny.
For just remember
it's very
the
like
entire
sci-fi.
Cast, I just got like a flashback to the entire cast.
Oh
of the
yeah,
series.
everybody looks weird.
Yeah. Why is he like some twink boy? Like I don't understand. I don't know.
Everybody looks like they're wearing a mask of another person.
I've told myself I was not going to get worked up today, so I'm just gonna try to enjoy the trailer.
Why would you tell yourself that?
Because it's important.
Okay.
Okay, we got Asian Elf. I saw Asian Elf. That's new. That's fun.
Worms is way inside your mind.
Okay.
Just that audio editing. That he and Worms are from different takes.
There's also weird
Worms.
There's a weird frame rate. I don't know if you feel that way, but it feels like the frame rate's maybe it's just because the effects like the special effects frame rate is different than the camera.
The crest of him slither.
It's possible that the television that you're on
God.
still has some dumb motion smoothing on it.
That's possible. Can you play that again, just like the way that guy is narrating? I love that.
Hate worms.
Inside. Worms.
Oh,
it's
so
they do that so often in trailers.
Yeah.
It's like just get the actor to record another line or edit it better. I don't know.
Worms is way inside your mind.
We gotta lure him, and
the crest of him slithers.
The effects don't look great, which is probably why they're releasing this in 1080p.
Look at the subtitles real quick.
Oh yeah, yeah, you can see the
that now.
subtitles.
That's fine. I'm short. Yeah, Hellbrimore, I remember.
I think he has been here.
You know, what's funny is they probably only put subtitles because you wouldn't be able to understand them. Otherwise, like the audio editing and the delivery of each line, it's kind of incomprehensible. Like if you're not looking at the subtitles here, like what the fuck are they saying?
I think he has been here.
More cutting in the middle of sentences.
Stink. He has peen here.
Pretty bad.
I think he has been here.
Definitely said peen here.
Yeah.
I think he's been here among us all along.
I think he's peeing here among us all along. That's a great line.
I think he's been here among us all along.
Among us.
He's been here among us all along.
That's really bad.
All right, Among Us. Did you want me to turn it down?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Okay, I get it. Anatar the Fair. Yeah.
He's also walking exactly like Aragorn did. Remember?
Yeah, a little bit actually.
It's the same walk and the same. They definitely use that as a reference.
Except that he's Sauron. Like this is clearly Anatar the Fair because they're talking about he's been here all along. I'm not gonna get into the lore right now. Let's just watch the movie.
But that's what you're here for.
Let's just watch where the trailer goes, and then I'll see how I feel about it.
He's doing the exact same walk and smile.
With the smile, yeah.
it's like they just edited over top. They deep faked it.
They might as well have. Yeah. That's cool.
How do you market this when knowing that like no one finished the first season? How do you imply like watch the story continue? Like nobody finished it. We were the only people.
I mean, what I think they're trying to say, like with the line of "I think he was with us all along" and showing Mordor, they're trying to like pick up people who didn't watch it, being like, "Oh, he was Sauron and Mordor happened." Like they're trying to like catch people up in this trailer. I feel like. This is cool though. I like this. This is probably the Watcher. This is a cool design for the Watcher. So I mean, I like this. I'm down.
Every soul in Middle Earth is in peril.
That was a really funny shot there.
Just the guy with the
That's like a really bad like feathered mask there. That's like he doesn't appear to be in the scene.
Like you can tell that it's made of like paper.
Middle Earth is in peril.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Middle Earth is in peril.
What's going on
there? That's just a bad effect.
Cool. Okay, yeah. Yes, I get it. That's what the poem says. The classic callback shots to, you know, to the 3 rings that are given to the elves. I get you.
Someone should take the trope of like villain character licking a sword or a knife and then just fucking cutting their tongue and being like, "Ow, wait, this is sharp."
I feel like that must have happened. I feel like some comedy like
maybe
disaster movie style, you know, people have done that.
Maybe no one's done it. Maybe I'll be the first. Is that a ring of power?
That's one of the rings of power, probably. Yeah.
It's a rop.
Yes, agile elf. Yes, Gaël, probably. We'll get there. Okay, we get a siege on what looks like Numenor. I think that's Numenor. I don't. Yeah, I guess there would be some sort of siege. Yeah, because we're on an island. Oh, that's probably Gandalf. That was probably Gandalf doing his thing for a second. Yeah.
He's got a great face while he's
have a really good face.
He definitely looks like he's in a comedy YouTube sketch here.
I just want to say it's been long enough.
Oh, you admit that it's Gandalf?
It's not that I admit that it's Gandalf. It's that I've accepted it.
Yeah,
like grief comes in stages.
I was about to say you're in the.
I've accepted that this fucking idiot is probably Gandalf. Especially now seeing him like, because that's what he did in the movie, right?
Yeah,
like he stopped the Balrog by doing this garbage. It's really stupid, but you know it's fine. Sure. He's Gandalf, I guess, probably. Okay. Cool. Armies.
That's Michael Shannon.
Is it?
That looks like Michael Shannon.
It looks like the guy who does Elrond. It looks like the same guy. Like the twink boy, just with a helmet on.
Oh, maybe it's just a different angle.
I just squint my eyes.
Is that not Michael Shannon?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
It looks like him from this angle.
It might be. Yeah.
He's Sauron.
Yes, we know. That was the twist in the first. That was the twist in the first series, by the way.
Yeah, but they're explaining it for people who didn't.
By this.
It's for people who
dude.
didn't finish the first series, which is
so
most
upsetting.
people.
I wish I could tell you how upsetting.
Most people didn't finish it, so. It's ice now.
I can't watch this.
It's
dude.
ice to me.
Don't make me watch this series.
I mean, no one's making you, but it would be great to do it
so
with
stupid.
you.
Yeah, I get it. The O is the ring. It took
We
them a while
can
to
do
get
it
there.
in chunks.
I can't believe it took them this long to get the O to be the ring. By the way.
Oh yeah.
By the way, like that, just in the way that they edited that trailer. Like, come on, what are you?
Oh.
Waiting? Like that's an obvious editing choice. That was a missed opportunity. Yeah.
Very epic.
Thank you. Yeah. Maybe you should make the music louder. That'll help.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that looks like, with the exception of the cool Watcher underwater shot, which I enjoyed just because I kind of like that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That looked awful.
Yep.
The whole, so the way Sauron was portrayed here as Anatar, Lord of Gifts, or Anatar the Fair, this kind of, you know, very, you know, I've been thinking about this a lot, right? Because the show has really kind of got got on my gears.
It rustled your jimmies.
Yeah. So one of the problems with the first series was the way that Sauron was portrayed, right? Because he was like this. It was a whodunit. You know, it was because that was the classic. That was what was in at the time. Was doing like, oh, who's Sauron? You know, this 13 Reasons Why garbage.
Yeah.
But
the spiritual successor to 13 Reasons
pretty
Why.
much. But the problem is that they portrayed him as this kind of Aragorn-esque character. If you remember, he was this like black-haired, bearded, rugged, cool dude.
It's so you'd never expect it.
It's. I'm trying not to say the R word. It's so dumb because
You can say it started.
it started because if you remember in in the Fellowship of the Ring, and this is from the book as well. When Frodo and Sam first meet Aragorn, Sam's like, I don't know if we can trust this guy, right?
Yeah,
like,
true.
And then what does Frodo say? Frodo says, I think a servant of the enemy would look fairer and smell fouler, right? Which I think is a great line. Basically saying, like, he would look better, he'd look prettier than Aragorn does, and he would smell fouler than Aragorn does. The problem with the first series of Rings of Power is that they portray Sauron exactly like that, as a person who is exactly like Aragorn, right? When Sauron actually came in disguised form to Middle-earth, he came as Anatar the Fair, Anatar Lord of Gifts, as that pretty femboy elf with the long blonde hair. That's how he came, and that's where that notion comes from, of this fair, beautiful, deceptive guy, right? And I'm very miffed that it took them this should have been season 1, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Season 1
It seems like they did an overhaul.
Should have been. We could start in Mordor. I don't give a fuck about terraforming Mordor. That's stupid. I don't care about some village that got attacked. I don't care about introduction of dumb characters. I don't care how Gandalf got to Middle Earth if you're not going to show like him arriving, and getting the ring from Círdan. Like, I don't care about that stuff. He didn't fall. It's whatever. So you're starting season 2 and you're trying to be closer to the source material, right? Now you've got Anatar, at least. I don't know what else. You've got some Numenor fight. Sure, that's going to happen. You've got Celebrimbor and the Forging of the Rings. I see that. I see the rings getting distributed. Why couldn't that be season 1? Why were we jerking around in season 1?
I'll tell you.
Doing nothing when we could have just started here, started with Anatar, introduced Galadriel, get Celebrimbor to make the rings, and then start with the Numenor storyline. I hate it so much. It just feels like a waste of time and billions of dollars as far as Amazon's concerned.
Yeah, well, it's because they got too cocky. It's because they saw that they had the name Lord of the Rings, and they're a streaming service, and streaming services are incentivized to stretch things out as long as possible because they see more hours as more content, and the more content, then the longer that people will be subscribed to the service because it takes them longer to finish it.
So it's just some conniving.
But it seems like they've done some sort of overhaul and realized, like, wait, if no one likes the content to such a degree that they're not even finishing it, then we kind of fucked up. So I'm assuming this season will be better because it seems like they might have, like, they have to have learned something.
But that's also not a very high bar, right?
It's not. Like, it's an extremely low bar. So and
they're stuck with one other thing, which is they're stuck with their casting choices. And I'm not trying to shit on the cast. This could easily be a director problem, right?
Showrunner,
that's right, as well. It's just like, I want them to have the option at least of diversifying. If a cast member isn't working for the role, doesn't have the right, I don't want to say face for the role because that sounds too prejudicial, but if they're not giving the performance that the role requires, I feel like you should have the option of being able to swap them out. But I feel like they're married. Like, these characters are probably on some contract.
Yeah.
And it's just like, come on, like, you can do better.
And they don't want to, like, admit. And
again, no offense to the actors, right? But
they want to do an overhaul without admitting that that's what they're doing.
Yeah. So they now they're stuck.
Now they're scrambling.
Now they're stuck. Now they have to keep now they have to stay with what they did with the first series, especially with that like some of the choices that they made. Like, again, like they had like the cool elf. Do you remember, like, the cool, like, the darker skinned elf who like helps the village and does ninja moves and stuff.
Yeah.
Who's, as far as I can tell, just a whole cloth fabrication and doesn't serve the story in any way, shape, or form. He's just, he's just there to be cool. And like, there was a village attack and it has nothing to do with the story. It just completely derails the entire plot. Right. So now they're stuck with that because they set it up. So they have to do something with it. What happened to the hobbits? I didn't see any hobbits in this trailer, right? That was a big
True.
part. Not, I would say hobbits, halflings, right? Because at the time they weren't hobbits. But like, what happened to that, right? Like they spent so much time setting that up, and now they realized it was a waste. It was a complete waste of our time as the viewer, right? And it was a waste of time for them now. But they could easily try to set up. I mean, this is again season 2. They should have tried to set up the hobbits or the halflings here. They could set up migration to the Shire if they really want to. It doesn't really matter. But this is clearly more of an elves Numenor story, which is what it should have been the whole time. By the way, the hobbits don't matter at all. We spent way too much time in season 1. Way too.
Well,
much
they were
time
trying
on the
to
hobbits.
have remember every character was
No.
literally just a ripoff of another character. So they had like Frodo and Sam, girl Frodo and girl Sam.
It's just it started. You know, wait, that was the Hobbit. Wait, I think go back. After Guy here, yeah, after here. Wait, yeah, that picture.
That's a hobbit?
I think so. Isn't that one of the halflings from the first series?
I don't think so.
Go back.
That
a
would,
little bit.
I think that's the kid that of the.
Oh yeah.
Remember?
The kid who stole the axe or something.
Yeah, when he stole the axe and
There was an
they
extreme
raided the
close-up.
home and ran
There's an
away.
extreme close up after this or before this. There was like just after this actually. Yeah, just keep going forward. Some character gets like an extreme close up, which looked like one of the hobbits. This one.
This one?
Okay, that's not
No,
a
it's
hobbit.
not.
I thought
You're
that
right.
was, like, the
That
girl
is
hobbit.
interesting. There's no hobbits in this fucking trailer. This is probably a hobbit.
You think? Yeah, it might be. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Is that? I think that's Sam.
No, I don't think that's Sam. I don't think Sam's born yet.
I don't know.
I
Well,
think
they got no shoes.
Yeah.
They got no
That's
shoes.
probably
They're
a
probably a hobbit. You can see their feet.
It's so upsetting, dude. Forging, yeah. There's Anatar. Like, ooh, he's so cool. Yeah. It's just like okay.
That is. I didn't notice that about it, but you're absolutely right.
We spent
like
so
there's
much
no
time.
there's no hobbits in
We
the trailer.
spent so much time. Do you remember how much time we spent? It was every episode.
Oh
It
yeah.
was every episode we followed the halflings on whatever it was. I don't even remember, East Ravanian, like wherever the fuck they were traveling from into. And like they're only kind of tangentially important, obviously, because a hobbit ends up getting the ring more than once. Like Gollum ends up getting the ring, Smeagol first. So it's kind of important, but it's not that important.
Thank
right?
you for
I
the
don't know why you
side-by-bother.
spent so much time on it when it was supposed. It should have been a Numenor story. It should have been, you know, an elven like forging of the ring story. It's called Rings of Power. That's what the whole thing should have been. Celebrimbor should have been the main character, not Elrond. I just hate it. I just hate every choice that they made. And so I really hope that this season they can start righting the ship. And then if this season's good enough, maybe we can forget about the first season completely. Be like, okay, first season didn't happen. The show starts here. But
Well,
like,
they were
you know.
concerned with padding to try and like build up as many strings and plot lines as possible, because you know there's successful shows that have done that, but they
Right.
still have to be like compelling enough that people care about what they're watching and they care about the characters and their stories.
But like, how many like what like I haven't watched a lot of TV shows, so I don't know how that works. But it just feels like they're spinning too many plates. You know, you've got just way too many storylines. And listen, there's a lot of interesting storylines in the series. But if you look at the original Lord of the Rings movies, which as far as I'm concerned are the best, I mean the Peter Jackson trilogy, by the way, not the
Thank you,
the
Clever.
Ralph Bakshi weirdness. They also, in a sense, had to deal with a lot of different storylines, but the way they dealt with it is they followed a single story, the story of Frodo, getting the ring, going to Rivendell, blah blah blah, going
Yeah.
to Mordor, and then the other stories started branching out.
They branch
from it.
out after
Really
it's already
organically.
clear why they're attached to the main
Yeah.
story.
and it branches out really organically.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and if there's anything incidental that comes up, that's like a side thing. If it's relevant to the story, they'll explain it a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Or it'll get its own story.
it gets you interested in the characters before they start doing their own thing.
Instead of this, which is just a shotgun approach of like, here's all these storylines. We're just gonna cut to characters that you haven't heard of, that don't matter at all to the story, that are not gonna come together like they're, I don't know, like they're filming some sort of art movie. Like, I don't know. It's just bad. Really, it's just really bad decisions. It's just really bad. Like, just from a showrunner perspective, the way it came together, it's just bad decisions. And now they're trying to run it back, and hopefully I'm again, I love the property. I really hope they do a good job with it. There's some plot decisions here that I see in the trailer that are a little bit better, but like, here's, I don't know, it's just so dumb.
It is dumb.
Like, okay, so you're someone who's not familiar with this particular plot or this particular story, right? But how hard is it for you just from the trailer to guess what happens? I'm like very curious, right? You've got Mordor happened. I don't know what this Venom shit is.
Yeah, I mean, like they're
this
implying that there's some sort of like evil dark takeover that
Right.
it's a very generic and vague like the land will turn to snow and if we
what
don't
I feel
do
like is gonna happen is
things
after
are
the first
hell's
episode,
freezing over.
I feel like after the first episode, you're gonna be able to just predict the entire series. Is what my prediction.
Yeah.
Is because like unless they do a terrible job setting it up, because it's not that complicated of a story. It's just It's just as far as the lore is concerned, it's just mythology. It's like, and then he came to Numenor, and then this is what happened, and then the rings were forged, and then this is what happened. You can make it interesting, but it's not the interesting part of the story. It's cool and it's good mythology and it's good lore, but fleshing it out is a challenge, even for a talented writer. Never mind for whoever.
Oh yeah, they gave it to these two showrunners that had never made anything before ever, which is very fun.
So I don't know. It's a challenge to say the least. And again, I've mentioned before how there's so many cool stories they could have picked from the Second Age to tell. This is obviously the storyline from the Second Age of like the forging of the rings, and it ties in. But as soon as they don't make Celebrimbor the main character, as long as they don't focus on his struggle, and I feel like they just lost the thread, and it's just kind of not inspiring at all. But yeah, we'll see. Fun trailer. Pretty much exactly what I expected, honestly.
Really?
Like, just in terms of a product, like, yeah. Like, it's just more of the same, right? Like, I expected Anatar the Fair. I expected Numenor stuff, because they set that up in the first season. I expected ring stuff, but they don't... All of it's just allusions to it, right? Is this the only trailer that's out? I assume this is the only trailer.
I think this is the only thing, yeah.
Right.
And when is it even come? Do they have a
August,
date?
I think they said at the end of the trailer. There was a date at the end.
August 29th.
Yeah.
Mark your calendars.
So quite a while from now, so I'll have time to mentally stabilize. And I'm sure in that meantime, we'll have more trailers come out.
Yeah, maybe they'll have a trailer with a Hobbit in it.
Oh man. See, this is another missed opportunity, right? Because they could have done something interesting with the trailers for this. Instead of cutting it like a generic movie trailer with like cool epic music and a build up and ooh, what's happening? They could have focused on a single storyline. This trailer, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They could have been like, and the hobbits, and they're going here, and then they see this, right? And then they could release another trailer where they focus on another storyline, right? Like if that's what they want to do, they can just do that. They can just like, give you bits and pieces that are actually interesting. Oh, I wonder what happens with this. I wonder what happens with that. But instead, they just cut it like a generic movie trailer, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah.
Like there's no there's no risks whatsoever. There's nothing here. It's just more of the same. It's just a product. That's what it feels like.
Everyone in the comments is commenting on a wig.
It's probably the wig that this wig that's in frame right now. Like this is the actor, right? This is the same actor from the first who did Sauron, like the really attractive one. I think it's the same actor. And he just has a wig on. Like you can tell the ends of the wig are really like you can look at the ends of the wig, like they're not very good.
That's very weirdly cut actually on the ends. That's bizarre.
And again, by the way, this is something that I was talking to my friend who's also into Lord of the Rings. And he mentioned, especially in the first series, what happened to the elves with long hair? Like, what happened to all the wigs, right? If you remember the first series, all the elves had short hair. What's up with that? Like, as a choice, I thought, like, the way the elves were portrayed in the books and Peter Jackson, like, they all had long hair, and it was really cool. It was like a look, right?
They forgot about consistency.
And now they just gave them all, like, fucking undercut fades. Like, they're Nazis or some shit. Like, I don't know. It's just... It's weird.
All right. Every comment is about the wig.
I didn't notice how, like, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Literally, there's like every comment.
That hairline was broken. It has been remade. That's so good. These are some excellent references. That's incredible. All right, then. Keep your secrets. Do you wear wigs? When will you wear wigs? That's such a good one. That's so good. Wow, they're really shitting on this wig. It's not that atrocious. It's a bad wig, but, you know. I think the reason you notice it so much is because it's the first long hair you get in the series, and it's just shit.
It's an interesting thing for everybody to be memeing on.
By the way, I agree with that. Rings of Power puts a wig on the same actor and transforms him into an elf. Sauron was a shapeshifter. He could change his face, right? So a great opportunity to cast someone completely different as Anatar the Fair, right? Like, isn't that like that would be kind of cool? I don't know. You have options. That's all I'm saying. You have options.
Scoot's here. We gotta let him
good.
in.
Let's let the cat in.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Olivia here. Thank you for watching as always. My $5 and up patrons for June 2024 are Michael Bradley, Jordan A, Sam3824, Clarice Carlson, Nico Fuentes, Joel999, Speak of the Joker, Randos, Lobstrite, Mara Geek, Mead Marmalade, Silverwind, Toby White, Skanat On, Happy the Knife, Coolest Shirt, www.openclassactions.com, Emil, Blank, Judah McKinslayer, T King, Sliv88, Electrica as an Ordinary Bad Gamer, Yup, the Super One Player, Gabriel Herrera, and Lemonade Warrior is participating in the hit game Among Us and is considered the Encroacher. Happy Pride Month, everybody. Stay safe out there.